Welcome to the lectures by Dr. Phil. Please click like, subscribe, and share this video. Of course, watch it as many times as you need to really grasp the material and only then take the quiz. We continue with the Fourth Industrial Revolution. This is Chapter 1 or Part 1, Challenges of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Here we will talk about the historical context. Historical context of industrial revolutions. We will try to understand the impact and progression of industrial revolutions. Once again, now we're living during the fourth industrial revolutions. So there must have been first, second, and third. What were they? Were you alive? Were your parents alive? Were your grandparents alive when it was happening? Let's study this. Today we face a big challenge: understanding and shaping the new technology revolution. This revolution, which we call the Fourth Industrial Revolution, is changing how we live, work, and relate to one another. Relate to one another, what does it mean? How we communicate, how we, let's say, if you're on a dating website, for example, Tinder, your grandparents didn't have a thing like that, so they would find their mate in a different way, right? This revolution is similar in scale to previous industrial revolutions. We need to understand how things are happening, how technology is shaping the revolution. And the first point, the fourth industrial revolution is changing how we live, right? Historically, revolutions bring sudden and big changes. These changes can take years to fully happen. The first major shift happened about 10,000 years ago when humans moved from foraging to farming. So at first, people were collecting fruits and nuts and killing animals, and then they decided to grow their own food, grow their own animals. The agrarian revolution combined human efforts with animals for production, transportation, and communication. This led to population growth and the rise of cities. So people um, saw some wolves and they adopted them, and these wolves became dogs. People decided that they like to eat pork, so instead of catching a pig every time, they decided to keep pigs on their farms. Agrarian revolution, right? People started growing their own food 10,000 years ago. This is how long we've been living with dogs, for example. After the agrarian revolution, we experienced three major industrial revolutions. The first industrial revolution from about 1760 to 1840 was triggered by the construction of railroads and the invention of the steam engine, starting mechanical production. So instead of um, making shoes by hand, there were factories that could mass produce shoes using technology. First, it was steam, so they were boiling water, and then they had steam, and the steam was pushing the parts of the engine, right? So this is on this picture we see steam engine. There were steam boats and all kinds of steam machinery. The second industrial revolution from late 19th century into the early 20th century enabled mass production through electricity and the assembly line. Again, instead of using steam, we had electricity that would move motors. And what is the assembly line? Assembly line, each worker does a little bit. So instead of producing the whole car by one person or the shoe, everyone was doing just a little bit. So this is the assembly line. I work at, for example, in McDonald's. I don't know how to make a burger. My responsibility is just ketchup. His responsibility is buns, her responsibility is salad, right? We all do a little thing, so it's easier and faster. The third industrial revolution, beginning in the 1960s, known as the digital revolution, driven by semiconductors, mainframe computing, personal computing, and the internet. So, again, the second industrial revolution is electricity and assembly line, and the third industrial revolution is computers. So maybe your grandparents lived through the second industrial revolution and your parents lived through the third industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution again was in 1960s. Semiconductors, right? Microchips that are used in computers. So first computers were huge, like in this picture, and then they became smaller and smaller and smaller and more powerful. Now we are at the start of the fourth industrial revolution. This revolution began at the turn of the 21st century and builds on the digital revolution. It is characterized by a more widespread and mobile internet, small and more powerful sensors, and advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Right? So the fourth industrial revolution is very powerful computers that are everywhere, internet that is everywhere. We have sensors and also machine learning and AI. And again, everyone talks about AI since 2 years ago, right? It's been around for quite some time, but general public started talking about AI maybe 2 years ago. These digital technologies are becoming more sophisticated, more wise, more difficult, more smart, and integrated, transforming societies and the global economy. MIT professor Eric Boynes-Felson and Andrew McAfee call this period the second machine age, showing that we are at the turning point where digital technologies will have a big impact through automation and creating new things, right? Everything is automated. We don't need so many people. So, for example, when you call your credit card company, maybe you talk with a chatbot, not a person. In Germany, the term Industry 4.0 describes how this revolution will change global value chains, enabling smart factories where virtual and physical systems work together. This leads to the customization of products and new operating models. The fourth industrial revolution is not just about smart machines and systems, it includes breakthroughs in gene sequencing, nanotechnology, renewable energy, and quantum computing. The combination and interaction of these technologies across physical, digital, and biological areas make this revolution very different from the previous ones. New technologies and innovations are spreading faster and more widely than before. While the second industrial revolution is still happening for 17% of world's population who lack access to electricity and the third for more than half of the world, so half of the world doesn't have internet connection or doesn't have internet connection all the time. The internet itself is spreading globally in less than a decade. So, what are the challenges of the fourth industrial revolution? So, number one, the fourth industrial revolution is changing how we live, work, and interact. We need to understand how these things are shaping technological revolution. And this revolution is similar in scale and to previous industrial revolutions, but is happening faster. Again, the historical context this is just a revision. Revolutions bring sudden change, right? So if something is evolving, it's evolution. But if something is changing quite fast, this is called revolution. So, for example, during COVID, everyone started ordering food, right? working online. So again, this is a revolutionary thing. Again, first industrial revolution, machine production through steam engine. Second industrial revolution, electricity. Third industrial revolution, internet. And fourth industrial revolution, AI. We believe that the fourth industrial revolution will be as powerful and important as the previous three. However, there are two main concerns that might limit its potential. First, the levels of leadership and understanding of the changes underway are low. No one understands what is going on. How will AI change our world? Will we lose our jobs? Will we have different jobs? We need to rethink our economic, social, and political systems to respond to this revolution. At both national and global levels, the framework needed to be govern the spread of innovation and reduce disruption. This is what has to be done. In many ways, we don't understand how this disruption will affect our society. Second thing, the world lacks a clear, positive, and common story about opportunities and challenges of the fourth industrial revolution. This story is essential to empower diverse individuals and communities and prevent a backlash against the fundamental changes occurring. So, hopefully, in this class, you will understand how these technologies are changing the world, what can be done to make sure that they benefit us, okay, and maybe you will help others understand that. Because if you're scared of the technology, you will not accept it. But changes are happening. To conclude, the fourth industrial revolution offers great promise and potential risks. It is up to us, governments, businesses, academia, civil society, and individuals to work together to understand these changes and shape a future that benefits everyone. We must create a shared vision and cooperative efforts across all sectors to use the power of this revolution for the common good for everyone. We believe that the fourth industrial revolution will be as powerful and important as the previous three. Okay, this this is it for now. Please watch the video if you need to understand it better. And if you're ready, then take the quiz. Thank you.